Tldraw came out with V4 of their SDK today, so I had to spend the morning splunking around and porting it into the MCP client app that I'm working on. There's some cool updates to Tldraw, but the thing that I find most interesting about this release is they included a bunch of starter kits, one for creating a agent cursor style-like experience for controlling the canvas, workflow, branching chat. Got a cool shout out there. That is fun. But if you pop open this agent demo, you can see the canvas and then a sidebar, a very cursor-like experience, and you can just drop messages in here and then the agent controls the canvas. To demo that, I'm going to pull up this MCP client app that I'm working on. It's kind of like an Obsidian light situation, just something for fun. And let's do a quick demo, and I'll call out pieces that I think are particularly cool about this starter kit. So first up, we can say make a square. What you get right out of the box using the starter kit is the ability to control the canvas, and it will draw on the canvas. That alone is pretty neat. I've built some similar functionality in other canvases previously, and that's actually, there's a lot of lift there. You can also highlight this and have it change to text. So you can see here in the context, it'll actually provide information about what you have currently selected, or you can add additional context. I haven't quite played around with that yet. So here we got the goodbye. That's pretty sweet. You also get this diff view where you can reject the change that was made. So if I reject it, then it goes back to what it was before. If I click accept, then we have that. So that built-in diff functionality is just really neat. The agent supports a to-do list. So you can get some long-running tasks going. Let's try something a little more complex. Let's say here we're doing just a simple workflow diagram, and this should take a few more steps. I'll note that any UI hiccups in the sidebar here, that's surely me porting the starter kit into the app. If you use the starter kit directly, everything just works perfectly. So yeah, we're dropping some UI messages there. But there we have a full workflow created out of just a simple prompt. Like, that is really cool. So again, we can see the full response, we can see the thinking pattern, all of these UI niceties they have built into the starter kit, and then we have the different tasks that were here. We can do a reject or accept those. We have the to-do items, you can see them getting crossed off. Just really cool. So I'm going to delete this. We'll start a new conversation. The last thing I want to highlight is it's showing up all my work here. Let me close some tabs here. Let's say, so I have this kind of design doc that just has some rough sketches in it. And what I'm really excited for is eventually being able to just drop this in and say, make a mind map of this and provide my whole context for something that's in my workspace here. And have it work with that. So we're getting some thinking messages. We're having it create those to-dos now. Eventually, my next step here is going to be to add the option to reference files directly in the chat input. That's probably something that I'll layer in later. Right now, copy and paste is just fine. So I'm going to let this think for a second. If the video cuts right now, it is because we're letting it cook. All right, didn't even need to let it cook for that long. So here I just pasted in a text file and said make a mind map of this Claude Code agent design, input design, MCP client, agent design. We have working, which is what I was working on. And we see that this agent is just continuing to cook. So it's tracking against the to-do items. It still has a few more. We are getting the intermediate accept, reject UI affordances here, which is just really impressive. Like, the fact that this is all provided as a starter kit, I just think is absolutely insane. The Tldraw team cooked. All right, so there we have it. Now we have a rudimentary mind map, and created just by dumping the raw text content of one of my notes in here, and then Tldraw's agent was able to cook it right up. Again, this is from the agent starter kit. So if you go to the recent announcement, it's right here in agent, and you can try it directly on their website, or you can fork it they have a create command to get started. It's been a ton of fun to play with, and just going through the code, you see so many interesting design choices and what goes into creating a product with this type of experience, like the chat sidebar on the right, providing context, selecting context, showing that diff view, managing the to-do list. Like, it is just really it's a full AI enabled product just bundled up in a starter kit that they are just providing. Really neat stuff. All right, thanks so much for watching. Have a good day.